As a teacher, what's your worst experience in the school environment?
One of the worst experiences I've had is a student that you know that that is an homosexual. A little boy of 12 years was caught with his fellow students threesome. They were doing threesome in the class while others were doing sports, and they were caught by another of a student that reported them. And when investigations were being carried out, we found out that this little boy of 12, 13 years did not start it in the school. Rather, it happened in his uncle's house. And this his uncle happens to be a pastor. And when investigations were being carried out, we found out that it was also another pastor that started this dirty acts with him right in the house of God. It was something that when the dad had it, he couldn't believe his ears. And this child, every holiday, was being sent to that uncle's house. And the uncle never knew that his home pastor was the one defiling his little nephew. And eventually, when the whole thing erupted, investigations were being carried out, we also found out that this same boy is having incest with his whole biological sister to the knowledge of the mom. It was something else that a boy of 13 years is an homosexual, and that not enough, is also having incest with his own biological sister, and his mom knew it.
So, what was the action of the school? What was the decision of the school?
It wasn't that easy, but the dad was called into the issue. The dad also went on to do his own investigation and found out that the boy was telling the truth. The sister was withdrawn from school, and then the dad had to send both of them to a therapist through the uncle who happens to be the main pastor, or what will I say, the chief shepherd of the church. And then while the other junior pastor that started this illicit affair with the little boy was suspended out of the church. So that was what actually happened. But we were able to save the boy. We were also able to save the sister. It would have been something else. Only God knows what would have happened if they had continued on that illicit affair. Only God knows what would have happened.
So it's too bad. It's too bad.
It's actually too bad, and it's a warning to parents. We should look out for our children, those in the hostel. We should watch their behavior when they come back, because his sister happens to be in the hostel, and he said she was the one that lured him into it.
Is he a younger sister or his
His elder sister. That's the irony of it. She happens to be his elder sister, and she was about 15 then. He was about 13. You can see that they are all teenagers. They are all teenagers, and then indulging themselves in such dirty and illicit affair. We are able to. God was. We were able to intervene, and then the dad took the matter, but the mom wasn't encouraging. I tell you, the mom wasn't encouraging at all. I think this is my gender. When it comes to our children, it's time we handle them the way we ought to handle them. Because if she that saw them, because this little boy said she caught them in the act. If she had stood as a mother and do what she ought to have done, I don't think the boy would have, come to school to practice such. She would have curtailed it from the onset. But The boy said she just took it and told them, don't do it again, don't do it again. And it ended there. She didn't press further, she didn't push further, she didn't ask him questions. It was the dad that now got to hear it and then did something that the mom would have done. So we parents, we have to checkmate our children. Have to checkmate them to a great deal, especially this juvenile age. There are lots of practices that children are, they carry out, and then at times you would think this is not my child, but when he does it or she does it, you'll be surprised that they are the ones doing it. The education we are giving them at home is not enough. We should go further. We should press further. And we should make sure we advise and checkmate every activity, especially their friends. Who are their friends? Know their friends to their homes, so that you can be able to stand for your child when the time comes.
Thank you. You've heard her. For those that have listened up to this point, kindly like, share, comment, share an experience that happened within your environment, within your school, that you feel a parent or a student can learn from it. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Thank you, Auntie.
You're welcome.